Okay, so whenever we have quadratic equations, when we set them equal to 0, we would find the solutions of the equation. Now remember that a quadratic equation, when we graph it, looks something like that. So our solutions are whenever we cross the x-axis. That's why we would set it equal to 0. Now it is possible that we can have either two solutions. We could have one solution right here, it only crosses once, or we could have no solution if it doesn't cross the x-axis at all. So the examples here have already been factored, so we don't have to do that. All we have to do is make sure that they're set equal to 0 and then solve for x. So x plus 4 equals 0, x minus 5 also equals 0. So if we subtract 4 on both sides, then x is going to be negative 4. If we add 5 on both sides, then x is going to be equal to 5. All right, now we got x minus 12 and 4x plus 3. Same concept. Let's set this equal to 0. We're going to add 12 on both sides. X is going to be equal to 12. We're going to subtract 3. And then we still have that 4, so we're going to divide both sides by 4. X is going to be equal to negative 3 over 4. So our two answers are x equals 12 and x equals negative 3 over 4. And so what does that mean? Is that when we graph that, 12, if 12 is over here, and let's say that negative 3 over 4 was over here, the graph would end up looking something like this. It crosses at both of these places. So now let's look at example C, where we have an x and then 7x minus 6. So we still have two solutions there, except x is by itself, so x is equal to 0 would be one of our solutions. And the other solution would be the same as we've been doing. We would add both 6 to both sides and then divide by 7. So x is equal to 6 over 7. Now, in this example, we would have to factor this out. So how are we going to do that? We're going to find all the factors of 48, such as 1 and 48. 2 can also divide 48. 3 could also divide 48. 3 and 16. 4, which is 12. And then 6 and 8. So what we want to do is, first off, we want to multiply to a negative 48. So that tells us that one of the numbers has to be negative. And we also want to add up to negative 8. So if one of the numbers is negative, that means that we're actually subtracting instead of adding. So if we find the difference between all these, 48 minus 1 is 47. 24 minus 2 is 22. 16 minus 3 is 13. 12 minus 4 is 8. And 6 minus 8 is 2. And so the answer would be these two factors because the difference between them is 8. Now, if we want it to be a negative 8, we would have to make the bigger number negative. So 12 is a negative. So we would write this as x minus 12, x plus 4 equals 0, and that's our factored version. Now, to find our solutions, we're going to set them equal to 0. And the first one, we add 12 to both sides, so x equals 12. And last one, we subtract 4, so x equals negative 4. And that's our answers.